this is a real treat. This is Dallas playing his favorite race, human, against Spikemonchi, who's giving up on human, and now he's playing random, I believe, and he's learning like Goo and Beta, and he said that Beta is his worst matchup. I mean, worst race, but here we see him playing Goo, which is not his worst race. He says that he's pretty good with Goo, so we're gonna look at it and see what his mistakes were and analyze things that happen. Dallas goes for a turret and cancels it and builds another turret. So he's playing against random. Well, I guess it's reasonable to. I've tried playing Beta against random, and I figure that the only danger here on this map really is if you spawn on the same plane, horizontal, the same horizontal plane as your Goo opponent. That's a danger. In every other circumstance, with every other race and every other spawn locations, you can go for a double refinery opening. But of course my opponent randomed Goo and he was on the same, we were both top, so he just came and just killed me. And oops. So Dallas is playing safe, Dallas is going one refinery, one factory. Dallas is pretending that he's a human player, but we all know that he's a good player. I accept it, Dallas. That's who you are. And Spikemonchi does everything, you know, standard. Goes middle. I actually think he spent a bit too much time here. You don't want to spend that much time here because you want this mother Goo to be right next to Spigot when it spawns, so you catch it. So what you need to do, I think, you go here and then you go straight middle. That's how I believe it's done. And if you want a bit more bank, you just go here, then goes here, and just one more pass over the Spigot and then go middle. But no matter what, as I said, it's very important. It's very important, and it's not an optional thing like, oh, I'm just losing a couple of seconds mining time. When you're playing a good human player, and especially when you're playing a good Beta player, hell, even a good player, you have to have your mother. When your mother spawns, it has to be next to a Spigot. In fact, when I'm spawning a mother, I take this first mother that's with a bank, I go next to a Spigot, and I drop this second mother right into a Spigot, and they usually come out from behind. Extra mothers come out from behind. So what I do is I go to a Spigot, then I set my mother back away from the Spigot, and I click the spawn mother button. So the mother comes out of the back and goes immediately on a Spigot. It seems like it doesn't matter, but it's one of the most important things in the game, to just plop your mother Goos right on top of Spigot. It matters so much when you defend in rushes. So much. It's when you split your mothers, that's where you're the most in danger of being dead, because you don't have any protein bank ready to spawn. You just have a mother, you have two mothers. So you want that first and second Spigot tick as soon as you can, so you get that ability to get a protein out as soon as you can. This is the most important part of playing Grey Goo. Being chatty, I think that actually takes away a lot, and this is very, I guess, somewhat rude. But if you're talking, you're not focusing on the game, and the same goes if you watch Spikemonchi stream. When you're smoking a pipe, you're not focusing on the game. So Spikemonchi simply is not as good as he can be because he voluntarily accepts all those distractions when he's playing. When you're playing, you should be just playing. You should not be distracted by anything else. In fact, to help me focus, I either listen to music, and what also helps me, I listen to Twitch TV streams of like Trump SC or Creperian or someone like that. And just, you know, some kind of, in the back of my mind, I don't have to listen to it, but in the back of my mind there is some kind of conversation going on. So when there is this conversation going on, I cannot, you know, my mind doesn't wander as much. I'm more focused on the game. So, you know, everything you do when you play in a game that you want to be good at, you have to completely eliminate other distractions and to voluntarily introduce distraction to your own play. But for example, talking or again smoking pipe is will stagnate your progress. I don't like it because I don't think it's necessary to after two mothers, but again, it's not like I haven't done it. But I mean, there is no reason to do it, to be honest. I mean, if just two mothers is one mother you come in, you harass. It's more effective. It sets humans slightly behind with their need to build a sentinel. And you know, it might, you know, interrupt some, you know, return lines of, you know, I said, you know, so many times, and I apologize for that. It might interrupt the harvester line when they travel. So, you know, I think after one spigot, after one mother, it makes sense to make a protein. So there is a purpose for one mother protein. I don't think there is that much purpose for two mother proteins. In fact, when we discussed it with Matisse, not so long time ago, and things might have changed, there was pretty much only three options, which we discussed: protein after first mother, protein after three mothers, and protein after four mothers. Protein after two mothers is just inferior option, especially I think on a map like that, where there are uphills and there are brushes. So, you know, there is a lot of positioning where you can defend against that single threat of single trident. And when you, I mean not Mindel, Spikemonchi scouted Dallas's base, and he saw that Dallas is not currently taking this spigot, and this spigot is the only real exposed spigot for this particular timing. Where you would benefit somehow from a single protein unit morph. He's Russian, thank you, Tachi. Let's also be something new. Radiance. Radiance. No, just no. Radiance, no, don't Radiance, no. If you want map control, you go for drovers, because you got 4 drovers that you can position, for example, here, here, you know, one here, or whatever you want it, one here, you know, you have much more control with 4 units than 2 units. Or if you want a bit of range for harassing this line, for example, you go for Striders. You never go for Radiance here. And again, this is a mistake, because what you want to do is you want to take your mothers that have bank and you want to send them away. You send away the mothers that have bank, and you keep your mothers that don't have bank here, so they immediately start gaining resources for that protein morph. In fact, I apologize for that. I'm gonna talk to Spike right now, and I'm gonna tell him that right now. Or maybe he should just watch this amazing what with amazing strategical analysis on inside. See, and this mother is not even collecting anything because of that. Alright, so for mother it's time for some harassment. Spikemonchi is having some adult rated conversation with Dallas. Sexual comes to the whole master of the battle. I don't like this mother position, it's a bit exposed, but I've seen Dallas and Mandel do that to be closer to human player. I don't think it matters that much, because this mother will be, you know, the bottleneck in attacking pattern. Striders here. And yeah, as you can see that Dallas rushed tanks, Gladii, but he's still building tridents. He has 3 factories dedicated to production of tridents. That's back to what I was talking about in the game, Epic game. No. That's good so they can, you know, get behind. Form other pressure. When to stop? I honestly don't remember. It's so long since I played good viewers. I think, just, you know, again, don't quote me on this, and I'm not entirely certain. I think you should have a bit, you should have 2 more small proteins in this situation. That's how I feel. Might be incorrect. But he messed it up anyway. Micro mistake. Well, he should have just killed that extractor. Just shot it. Even if some of his units die, it's worth it, because if you do not kill that extractor, all these units are irrelevant. It's because the human player will keep producing. Actually, it might even more than two small proteins wars, because what you want to do in this position, you want to have a, you know, a domination of map control. You don't want to be behind the human player. You want to have more units than they have, because they should only have those 2 spigots in the main, those 2 extractors in the main. This extractor you should be able to harass, and if there is a turret line here, you should be able to go over here and harass this extractor. The only way that humans should be able to defend in this situation is with the help of a conduit, stretched conduit line, and the turret. And I think that if you produce these units and you do not even kill this extractor, you just set yourself behind, because as I said, the human player, they will be producing those units no matter what. Their unit production is not tied to their economic expansion, but as a good player, your economic and unit production are basically the same. So when you produce like 4 or 5 protein worth of units, you actually sacrificing 2 mother. And as I said, this is an equivalent. You have to think about it as economic equivalent. When you do this is an economic equivalent of them going out with their force and killing 2 of your mothers. This has the same impact on the game. So yeah, and here that mother is in a compromising position. I saw Dallas and I saw Mandel do those kind of things, but I really dislike them. And I think there is a point. Even position it here, or just simply in the middle of this spigot would be more safe, without really compromising the ability to reinforce quickly. I don't like this chasing. You only chase with your mother go when your opponent is attacking your mother go, because otherwise the whole purpose of the human army is to move backwards and kite your units. So when you're just chasing with your mother, which is extremely slow, you're not really accomplishing much. The only situation in which you will accomplish anything is when they mess up the micro with their tier 1 and they don't move it back. But other situations would be like if you're desperate defending and you have less armor, but this position has a reasonable amount of army. He is not bringing his reinforcements with him, and he brought the mother back in a compromising position. So a whole bunch of errors. And yeah, Dallas has this game won already, because he has he's on 4 for mining. He's on 4 mining spigots, and he has giant army, and he's producing more at a constant rate. So in this position, good player will have to perform miracles to get back into the game. Human versus good matchup is extremely tempo based. Once you lose that tempo, once you lose pressure and the human player can venture outside of his base, you lost the game. So it's a lot about just maintaining that balance between expansion and army, but you have to pressure them. You cannot allow them to pressure you. So yes, I think what this game, what are the errors of this game? The errors of this game are: A, mothers always spawn new mothers on top of spigots. B, do not produce a protein onto mothers. I think that's not useful unless they have several factories at this point and they are going for some kind of weird strategy, probably 1 spigot, 3 factories or something like that. You don't really need that protein produced, especially on a map like that where there is a lot of defensive positions in the middle which allow you to catch their tridents. And another mistake is here. Actually, don't transform your first protein into radiance. Always try to accomplish something with your first protein if you do spawn it. And if you're going on 4 mother aggression, you have to make sure that you are maintaining enough army to deny them those exposed extractors, because Ghoul army is stronger early game. On 4 mothers they have a lot of protection, and Dallas would only have like 2 spigots that are safe, and the other spigots will be in a more exposed position. So you have to push the army back, and you have to do those favorable traits in the beginning of the game. So you maintain this tempo, you contain them to their base, you contain them to only as many spigots as they can defend by building conduit lines. So if you get yourself into this position where you didn't produce enough army early game, and you didn't produce it quick enough because you made those economic mistakes that I mentioned just before this, you get in a position where human player can comfortably push out of their base and set you on the back foot, and this shouldn't be happening at this point. So Spike's production and the fact that he put his mother go over here means he's producing of 4 mothers, and Dallas is producing of no, he's producing of 5 mothers. Dallas is producing of 5 factories. And given that human units are better, they're stronger, this is a clear one-sided resolution to this game, and because I said I'm gonna try and shorten the replays, this is where I will finish. And again, still some rambling going on, but I'm trying to elaborate and express my thoughts in a better fashion, and hopefully I'll learn how to eventually. So this is it for this replay, but and I think this will be all the replays for today, but I'll see you later for 2 more replays tomorrow, and I think in a couple more days I'm gonna be ready to practice some Grey Goat stuff.